Welcome back and happy Monday. It's a new week and a new discovery. How are you doing with the Mercury retrograde discovery from a couple of weeks ago? How's your relaxation going? Independent of all the noise and the static. This week's discovery is wisdom, but we're going to start with our 3 deep breaths as become our custom. And I hope you're taking it into the rest of your life. So we inhale fully and deeply through the nose, hold for the count of 4, then exhale slowly through the nose. So inhale deeply, hold, exhale slowly, inhale deeply, hold, exhale slowly, inhale deeply, hold, and exhaling slowly. And as usual, take just a few moments to notice the impact of those 3 deep breaths. At first in the practice, it might seem subtle to notice any sort of difference or change, especially if you've been running with the mind really busy. But bit by bit, getting in the habit of checking in with a practice after you're completing it and seeing the effects on the body, the senses, the mind, awareness, you will notice. And this leads into this week's discovery, wisdom. We could even use the word knowledge with a capital K. And this is distinct from information. You know, we live in a prolific age of information moving at the speed of light. So much information from ancient spiritual texts, all the way down to a million different ways to change your oil. But gathered information doesn't add up to wisdom. Wisdom and knowledge with a capital K is a presence, a living presence. And just like noticing the impact of practice at the end of a practice can seem really, really subtle, so can capital K knowledge, wisdom, the presence. For those of us who have gotten quiet in nature and felt the presence, you can even feel it here with the trees as the hummingbird buzzes by. There's a presence. So learning to listen quietly and become more receptive, even if you don't sense anything in particular just yet, to keep cultivating the practice consistently. Particularly trying it out this week when you have a question. Pause, ask your question, take those 3 deep breaths, soften through the 6 points of the body, soles of the feet, palms of the hands, corners of the eyes, skin inside and around the ears, tongue, pelvic floor. And work with your imagination, whether it's something visual or something kinesthetic, or just that felt sense of being very, very receptive, open. See how wisdom reveals itself within you, even about a simple question. Maybe it's a picture, maybe it's words you hear, maybe it's just a knowing, a very quiet knowing. More often than not, the way that wisdom seems to move that knowledge with me is as like a quiet whisper in the background that I have to really lean in and listen without an agenda. So that's another key principle in this week's discovery of wisdom and knowledge, is to let go of expectations. Expectations will cloud the discovery process. Going in like an adventure, not knowing anything. And learn and discover, how does that work in you? How do you cultivate not knowing combined with receptivity? So practice, practice, practice. And maybe think about getting a buddy for these weekly discoveries. so you can check in with each other. Put your comments below about what you're discovering or your questions, and let's see what we can cultivate this week in collective wisdom around the discovery of wisdom, knowledge. And one little extra tidbit. If you're reading a special text, maybe you're a student of the Course in Miracles, or maybe you read one of the religious texts or something else. The great wisdom of these texts is in between the words. So when you're reading, this is another place to check in. Get quiet, relax the body, and just see if you can begin to tune and become receptive to the living wisdom in between the words. Have a great week, and I'll see you soon.